Now for questions 26 and 27, choose a part of the sentence that has an error. Okay, so the first question, question number 26 is spoken language contain many incomplete sentences. So options are A spoken, B language contain, C many incomplete, and D sentences. So the part of the sentence that has an error in it is option B language contain. Now what is the error here? The error here is this, that this should not be contained. Instead, this should be contains. Why? Because now see, here is the subject spoken language. So now we are referring to only one language, which means the subject is singular. Therefore, the verb shall be plural. So in order to make it plural, what we will do? We use S, right? We add an S. Next question is, you should have tell your parents about your poor performance in yesterday's test. Okay, options are A, you should have, B, tell your parents, C, about your poor performance, and D, in yesterday's test. So the part of the sentence which has an error is option B, tell your parents. Now, what is the error here? See, what is the tense of the sentence? Have tell. What type of tense is it? Present perfect tense, isn't it? Now, uh, what is the structure for present perfect tense? Has or have plus verb and its third form. So is tell the third form of the verb? No, it is the base form. So it should be told your parents, not tell your parents. Now for questions 28 and 29, choose the correct option for the following idioms and proverbs. Okay. So question 28, get your goat means. Options are A, persuade someone to say something wrong. B, invoke an angry and emotional response. C, a white and brown color goat. D, a goat running in the field. So, out of all of these options, the right answer will be option B, invoke an angry and emotional response. Now, question 29, fly off the handle means. Options are A, to fly without a handle, B, to become suddenly glad, C, to fly high in the sky, and D, to become suddenly enraged. Okay, so the right answer will be option D, to become suddenly enraged. Now, what does it mean? It means that close someone's temper suddenly. Okay. Now, for questions 30 and 31, choose the option with current spelling. So, how do you spell the word that means a person who easily believes whatever is told? Okay. So the word is credulous, credulous, and the right spelling for the word will be Credulous. Okay, so where can we find this spelling written? In which of the options? Yes, option number C. So therefore, this is the right answer. Now, how do you spell the word that means the period of gradual recovery of health after illness? Okay, so what is the word for this? The word is uh, Yeah, so the word is convalescence. Convalescence. So the spelling will be Convalescence. Okay, so this is the spelling for convalescence. And now, where can this, in which of the options can we find this spelling? Yes, option D. So the right answer is option D. Now, for questions 32 and 33, choose the correct antonym of the given word. Okay, so the word is virtuous. Now, what does virtuous mean? Virtuous means showing moral standards. Okay, virtual means showing moral standards. Now, let us see the options. The options are A, blameless, B, wholesome, C, celibate, and D, unethical. So, let us write the meaning first. Virtuous means showing moral standards. Okay. Now, let us see the meaning of the options as well. So, first of all, blameless means somebody who cannot be blamed for. Okay. Who cannot be blamed for something. So, he is said to be blameless. Next is wholesome. So, wholesome means healthy. Okay. This means healthy. Next is celibate. So, celibate means restrained from marriage. Someone who restrains from marriage. So, that particular person is called celibate. And the last word is unethical. So, unethical means morally wrong. So, what do you think is the antonym for the word virtuous? So, the answer will be D, unethical. Now, next question is question 33. The word is churlish. So, what does churlish means? Churlish means rude. Okay, now the options are A. Grumpy. So grumpy means bad tempered. B. Sullen. Sullen means bad tempered again. C. Sophisticated. Sophisticated means great deal, someone who has great deal of worldly experiences. And the last word is cantankerous. So cantankerous again means bad tempered. So out of all of these options, the option A, B, and D have the same meanings, which means bad tempered. And the word option C, sophisticated, is the right answer to the question. Now, for questions 34 and 35, choose the correct synonym of the given word. So, the first word is connoisseur. So, question 34 is connoisseur. So, what is the meaning for it? The meaning for it is an expert judge. Okay, an expert judge. Now, uh, now options are A. Ignoramus, B. Interpreter, C. Appreciator, and D. Delinquent. Okay. So let us see the meaning for the options as well. So ignoramus means an ignorant person. Okay. Next is interpreter, so one who interprets. C. Appreciator, the one who appreciates. And D. Delinquent. Delinquent. So delinquent means tending to commit crime. Okay. So what is the synonym for connoisseur? The synonym is C. Appreciator. Now, question 35, the word is nepotism. So, what does nepotism means? Nepotism means favoring relatives. Okay, that is what nepotism means. And nepotism is the word which is basically used in terms of people who are popular. Okay, so such people uh, when they favor their relatives, so it is known as nepotism. Now, options are A. Efficient, B. Fairness, C. Favoritism, and D. Permissiveness. Okay, so let us see the meaning of each word. So, efficient means achieving max productivity. Okay, now fairness, we all know what fairness means, right? Next is favoritism. So again, we know what favoritism means, showing favor towards one particular person, or we may say biasness. And the last one is permissiveness. Okay, permissiveness, sorry. So yeah, meaning of permissiveness means excessive freedom of behavior. Now, out of all of these options, which one do you think is the synonym to nepotism? Yes, the answer will be C, favoritism. Now, Now we have arrived to the next section of the paper, that is reading. And this section consists of 10 questions which are based on two different passages. So first we'll read the passage and then answer the questions. So for questions 36 to 40, read the passage and answer the questions that follow. Okay. So in northern Laos, on the Seongkwang Plateau, one can behold the plain of jars, which appears to be a prehistoric cemetery. In 1930, archaeologist Madeleine Colani published her conclusion that the jars were coffins based on on her discovery of human remains in some of them, plus personal artifacts that might be buried with the body. Interestingly, some of the jars are massive, suggesting that the occupant was either important or was wealthy. A few jars have stone lids on them. Probably all of the jars one had lids to protect the body and his or her things from weather, thieves, and to slow decay. Laos was used by the North Vietnamese Army (NVA) as a bypass route outside of the Ho Chi Minh Trail into South Vietnam during the Vietnam War. The NVA also supported the Pathet Lao communist insurgency in the area of the Plain of Jars. There, they were subjected to repeated bombing by the US Air Force, and many unexploded anti personnel bombs remain in the area today, always a threat to the local population and to tourists. Think for a moment how and why burials are conducted in the Western world. It is an admixture of survivors honoring someone, the ritual of saying goodbye to him or her with the functional need of removing the body. Likely, those things also apply to the persons placed in the jars. In both the prehistoric and in modern burials, some of those who were honored and created a sham. Those jars hold the remains of someone who had the means, wealth, power, and influence to honor themselves. The other jars may have held the remains of someone who had character. The heart is symbolical of our character, our soul. The people who were buried in jars were people of character and true value. So character must be built. It does not come naturally to us. So this was the passage. Now let us see the questions that follow. Question 36. According to the passage, what is the symbolical of our character, our soul? Okay, so now in the last passage, we just now read it. So what is the right answer? The right answer will be option D, brain. Question 37. Choose the best title or heading for the passage. Options are Shuang Plateau, Vietnam War, the Plain of Jars, and the Northern Laos. So, out of all of these, the right answer will be option B, the Vietnam War. Now, question 38, choose the incorrect statement. Options are those who were buried in jars saw the true value in the person that they honored. Okay. B. Madeleine Kolani concluded that the jars were coffins based on her discovery of human remains. C. The NVA also supported the Pathet Lao communist insurgency in the area of the Plain of Jars. And D. The Laos was used by the South Vietnamese Army, SVA, as a bypass route into North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. Okay, so out of all of these options, which one is the wrong answer or which is the incorrect statement? The answer is option C. Okay, this is the incorrect statement. Now, question 39. According to the passage, why are some of the jars massive? Okay, options are because they were highly durable, because it took less space when buried, because it slowed down the decaying process, or because it is suggested that the occupant was either important or wealthy. So, the right answer will be option D. So, as per what we have read in the passage, it says that because it suggested that the occupant was either important or wealthy. Now, question 40. The synonym of the word sham is. Okay, option is A, genuine, B, authentic, C, natural, and D, fictitious. So, the word sham basically means falsely. Falsely. Okay, so which of these options do you think is the synonym for falsely? It will definitely be option D, fictitious. Why? Because fictitious means something that is not true. Okay, now here is the second passage. So, for questions 41 to 45, read the passage and answer the questions that follow. When you visit a library, the books are all arranged according to categories. All the mystery stories are in one section. All the suspense thrillers are together. All the sweet romances are together. That's how Amazon does it. Barnes and Noble too. In fact, all the digital booksellers use a classification system that groups similar books all together. The classification categories are based on what readers want and what readers look for. Businesses exist to meet the needs of the marketplace. If the buying public wants something, it will be made available by some enterprising business. Now, take murder mysteries for example. Knowing that the reading public loves to read murder stories, many writers have specialized in that genre. Often, the reader comes across descriptions of brutal murders. It's a tragic fact that the human beings around the world violate each other every day. But there are writers who may or may not include such terrible things in their stories. But if they do, the evils are mentioned briefly. They choose to may not include such terrible things in their stories, write stories without violence, or if a violent act is included in their story, it is not dwelt on in any blow by blow way. It is not glorified. The reader will know that somebody was murdered, but they won't be struggling with mental pictures of the evil. This is what clean fiction is about. Okay, or more accurately, this is the part of ethos adopted by authors of the clean fiction. As H.L. Wegley says of his stories, descriptions and events will never be gross, graphic, or gratuitous. He writes inspirational thrillers and high action romantic suspense novels. Clean fiction is not so much a book category for a description of the author's writing. So, clean fiction includes romance, suspense, mysteries, thrillers, even time travel. Pretty much any genre can be written in a clean way. Okay, so this was the passage. Now, let us try to solve the questions that follow. So, the first question is question 41. According to the passage, what makes the job of finding books easy in a library? Options are books arranged according to alphabets, books arranged according to numbers, books arranged according to characters, and books arranged according to categories. So, the right answer will be option D. Now, question 42. According to the passage, classification categories depend upon A, what sellers want, what Amazon suggests, what readers want, and different genres. So, the right answer to the question will be option C, what readers want. Now, according to the passage, what types of genres does clean fiction include? First, romance, second, suspense, three, mysteries, four, thrillers, and five, time travels. Okay, options are 1, 2, 3, and 4 only. 2, 3, 4, and 5 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And option D, 1, 2, and 3 only. So the right answer to the question will be option C, that is 1 to 5 all. Okay, romance is included, suspense is included, mysteries is included, thrillers is included, and time travel is also included. Now, choose the correct statement. A. Booksellers use a classification system that groups similar books all together. B. The reader is treated to descriptions of fairy tales and murder mysteries. C. Novels of romantic genre can only be written in a clean way. And D. Clean fiction is a book category and not a description of the author's writing. So, the right answer is option A, because this is the only correct statement out of all of these four options. Now, question number 45. What does the word gratuitous mean? Okay. So, gratuitous means done free of charge or done without a good reason. Okay. So, now let us see the options. Options are A. Extremely essential, B. Not necessary, C. Reasonable, and D. Justified. So, the right answer will be option B. Not necessary. Okay. Now, students, we have arrived to the third section, third and the last section of the paper, that is Achievers section. Now, in this section, there are 5 questions, and each question consists of 3 marks. Okay. So, while solving this section, try to be more careful. Okay. So, for questions 46 to 48, choose the correct option to complete each sentence. Question 46 is, in medieval times, castles and forts were made dash so that the enemies would never gain access to the king. Okay. Options are A. Impermeable, B. Impenetrable, C. Impossible, and D. Implacable. Okay. So, let us see the out of all of these questions, the right answer will be uh, option B, that is impenetrable. Okay. Now, question 47. There are many medications that dash by the government of our country. Options are A. Have prescribed, B. Has been prescribed, C. Have been prescribing, and D. Have been prescribed. Okay, so out of these 4 options, which will be the right answer? Yes, the right answer will be option D. Now, what does proscribed means? Proscribed means forbidden by law. Okay, this means forbidden by law. Okay, and therefore this will be the answer that have been prescribed. So option D. Question 48. The report discussed the changes to be made in the education system. Dash. It suggested that a new approach to teaching is required. Okay, options are A. Furthermore, B. Unless, C. Contrastingly, and D. Further. Now, furthermore is used when in the sense of in addition. Okay, in addition. Next, unless is used in the sense of except if. Except if. Now, contrastingly is used in the sense of different, to different. Now, last is further. So, further is used in the sense of by a great difference. By a great difference. So, out of all of these, the right answer will be furthermore. So, we'll say the report discussed the changes to be made in the education system. Furthermore, or in addition, it suggested that a new approach to teaching is required. Now, the second last question is 49. Choose the correct synonym of the given word. So the word is lapidary. So what does lapidary means? Who cuts, the one who cuts or engraves gems. Okay. Now let us see the options. A. Engraver. Okay, this is definitely the right answer. Why? Because lapidary means who cuts or engraves gems. So its synonym will definitely be A. Engraver. But let us see the meaning for other words as well. Mediator. Uh, okay, mediator means the person who acts as the medium between two persons or two things. Next is dissuader. So dissuader means discourages someone. And last one is spectator. So a person who watches at a game. Okay. Now, the last question is choose the correct antonym of the given word. So the word is pejorative. Okay, so what does pejorative means? It means that expressing disapproval. Okay, I'll write it here. Expressing disapproval. Okay, now the options are A. Derisive. So what does derisive means? Derisive means ridicule. Ridicule. Next is unpleasant. We know what unpleasant means. C. It is complimentary. And the last one is irrelevant. So irrelevant means not relevant. So the antonym for the word pejorative is option C, complimentary. Okay. Now pejorative means expressing disapproval, which means disliking something, and complimentary definitely means complimenting something because we like it. Okay. So class, this is it for today.